million years old. Colby gave her a mock bow. I accept without reservation the results of your excellent potassium-argon test. What I don't accept is that Eustace here managed to get himself buried under a volcano at least 8 million years before he could have existed. Thea shrugged. Her job was the dating of the most ancient objects by the most advanced scientific methods. Fitting the results into the accepted theories was someone else's problem. The lab door was flung open and Max Style appeared, looking round the untidy laboratory with distaste, like a Prussian officer on the parade ground. His stiff Germanic good looks reflected his stiff Germanic character. His lab coat was crisp and gleaming white. "Professor Colby, Dr. Fendelman is waiting for the corrected coordinates." Lazily, Colby stretched out his arm, fished a clipboard from the cluttered bench and held it out. "There you go." Style took the clipboard, tucked it under his arm, gave a brisk nod, and turned to leave. "Come on, Maxie," said Colby encouragingly. "End the day with a smile." Max Style stared blankly at him for a moment. Then his rather woodenly handsome features twitched briefly, and he turned and left the laboratory. Colby winked at Thea, rose and stretched. "Think I'll call it a day. Coming, Thea?" "I just want to finish this. Shan't be long." Colby gave a farewell nod to the skull and drifted off. Thea returned to her microscope. It was almost dark now, and the walker increased his pace, looking uneasily around at the gathering shadows. He began to whistle to keep up his spirits, a ragged, uneven version of some ragtime tune. The owls seemed to accompany him with a mocking, hooted chorus. His sense of oppression, the feeling of being somehow pursued, was stronger than ever now. The night wind rustled eerily through the trees as he hurried on. Style went along an oak-panelled corridor in the rear wing of Fetch Priory. The atmosphere was cold and dank, as if this part of the enormous old building was seldom used. He marched up to a heavy oak door, produced a formidable-looking set of keys, unlocked the door, and went into the room beyond. The big, old-fashioned room had been converted into an incredibly complex electronic laboratory, its walls lined with banks of controls. This was the home of the time scanner, Dr. Fendelman's supreme achievement, and as yet a closely guarded secret from all but one of his colleagues. The apparatus gave out a steady electronic tick. The left-hand bank controlled and monitored power input. The right, directional coordinates. The huge central bank running across the entire rear wall was the control console for the time displacement sweep. There was a large vision screen at its centre, a number of smaller monitor screens at each side. Fendelman was busy with the computer controls. A wiry, intense-looking man, sharp-faced, with a thin moustache. Nothing particularly impressive about him, but he was one of the richest and most powerful men in the world. Fendelman Electronics was a multinational giant that had outstripped all its competitors, an industrial complex so vast that it virtually ran itself, leaving Fendelman free to pursue his twin hobbies of archaeology and electronic research. He looked up as Style came into the room. "Ah, good. There you are, Max." Style handed him the coordinates, and he studied them for a moment. "Yes, excellent. We are ready to begin. Phase 1 power, please." Style moved to the power console. Phase 1 power. A steadily rising electronic hum filled the cellar. Phase 2 power. Phase 2 power, said Style obediently. The hum became a high-pitched, vibrating whine.